Welcome back. Mr. Dempsey, you were talking about some people not being interested.
Yes, you know, unfortunately, Nigeria, the most populous country in the black race, with huge potentials that all African countries are looking up to, we are behaving like kindergartens. It's sad that people come up with solutions and government is not willing to implement it. It should not even be heard of that a truck would be on the bridge for 1 month, 3 weeks, and a driver will leave Kano to come to Lagos to come and load, and by the time he gets to Lagos, he's going to spend 3 weeks to 4 weeks in Lagos before he gets to the port. Chief has said that about 80% of their members have their various packs. Excellent. I've said on this program before that we have also created unemployment by not having journals. Newspaper, radio, TV, all of these fleet operators should be able to advertise their services. Now, we all know right now that about 65% of those trucks that are actually on the road shouldn't be there. Mm. They are there because they have to look for customers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Chief has said, yes, there is nothing to notify them that, okay, you can come at this time or you can't come. If an importer goes through a journal, then he can engage Chief's transport company or my sister's transport company or my transport company. Then he engages us, then we go to the road, then to the port. But right now,
you have business.
Because you have business to do there.
So what happens now is that some of those truckers just come and line up.
They line up.
They are soliciting.
They are actually soliciting. The closer you are to the port, the more potential you are engaged. That's what is playing on right now. And it is because government has not really seen what we lose as anything substantial.
But no, sorry, but do we need government to create those journals or those adverts? Do we need government to
It will not work. Nobody is going to buy the service if the people that will patronize you are not going to come. They are not. If nobody is coming to eat your food, you just set up a restaurant and you cook. You can't. I mean, you either eat the food or they all get spoiled.
Again, I'll stay with you. Mr. Narsa, we're coming to you. The question is this: so there is an association. Again, I asked a question earlier to Chief about the need for the individuals and associations to do something. So if the association decides, okay, since we have services to render, we can advertise. Put it out there in the newspapers. Mr. Resanya needs to move some goods from the port. He buys his newspaper, one of the dailies or multiple dailies, and sees the list of truckers available there and the phone number. Mm-hmm. And can't he just call there? Do you need government to do that?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Look, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway a couple of days ago was locked down. You know why? Because people have assumed the status of I will drive against the traffic and nothing is going to happen. On the Lekki corridor yesterday, I counted 487 vehicles that drove against the traffic.
You stood and were counting?
I was in the traffic. So as they were passing, I was counting. I counted 487 vehicles. Not downfall drivers now, let's say about 25% of them were commercial vehicles. But people with tie. General managers, executive directors, managers, and senior officers in banks, insurance companies, and other organizations. Right here in Nigeria, one language we understand is government presence. If government is not present, nobody wants to do the right thing, though it is the right thing to do. So if government says we don't want to see any truck on the roads, and you ask the question, when the president came, the trucks vanished somewhere. Where did they go? They were all chased off the road. They had military checkpoints in Ogun State. They didn't allow any truck to come into Lagos. The ones that were there, they chased them, all of them moved. But you know what? If the president didn't see it, he will not believe the paper report that there is a problem.
Mr. Rasanya, well, your agency is part of government, but you're also being affected here. But hear what he's saying, that government presence will make all of these things work out. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I quite agree. I quite agree. And I think it's got to do with structures that will determine the function. If you put out the right structure, it will guide the function. So now that there should be a regulator that we can hold responsible.
But the Port Authority, the Nigerian Port Authority, they're not regulating enough?
No, the Port Authority is not it's not a regulator in all this traffic thing. Well, I think within their own premise, facility, they regulate whatever happens within their own. But what we're talking about is outside
the port.
All right, yeah. And most of these trucks, they are not all going into the Tinkanella or the ports. Some of them are going to the tank farms. Some are going to other industries around. Some of them are going somewhere around there. You have a lot of factories in Apapa. You have most of the areas where trailers used to park before are now taken over by tank farms. You have multiple tank farms right there right now. So you have a lot of trailers, a lot of tankers coming to load from Apapa to Kano, to Maiduguri. So they all come there now. So it's the main convergence. So you already have an organized chaos there.
But that chaos might also be extending to Ikorodu Road.
Of course, the traffic goes as far as Fadeyi, as far as Lupeju. Yeah. At times on that road, you lock down everywhere.
Certain portions as well.
Yes.
What?
The road is failing in certain portions.
Everywhere. It's affecting. So, we cannot even sweep the road, for God's sake. The sweepers cannot even have a space to sweep. And it pains me every day. We cannot sweep the road.
Is it time now for us to be crying for government to fix the other fuel depots so that those tankers don't all have to come to Lagos to load, to take to Kano, to take to Sokoto?
Well, I think just like Chief said, and if we have a good call-up system, in all this, there's a whole lot of business waiting to happen. People cannot build private terminals where all these trucks coming from everywhere in Nigeria can go and park.
Ogere is there. Are they using Ogere?
Is there. So the call-up points using using electronic call boards and are getting across. So you cannot come into the port to load without going through registered terminals. So you must have a clearance from private terminals.
So the authorities at the ports can call that terminal, say,
it is information, exactly. Information will go to those terminals. So it is the terminal that is supplying trucks to the port and not individuals. What you have right now, there are individuals who are maybe having 1, 2, 3 trucks, but because they have people in connection in those areas, they go and stay on the road and they are the ones that will be moving in and out. So we need somebody to fix this, to be at the helm of affairs, to regulate this. But today is a chaos, but it's business waiting to happen.
And it must be government that can resolve it.
Yeah, the regulation comes from the government.
Yeah, well, you see, for example, the tank farms, we have pipelines. We have depot in Mosimi. We have depot in Ejigbo. There's depot in Ilorin. There is a depot in Ore. There is a depot in Benin. And I think there should be a depot in Kaduna. The reason everybody is coming to Lagos to come and fuel, to come and lift fuel to Kano or to Maiduguri is because the pipelines has failed. That's a mode of transportation. One of the things we do well in this part of the world is we can spend any amount of money to buy anything, but we have poor maintenance culture. Yes, pipelines were installed years ago. Were they properly maintained? Yes, pipelines are being vandalized. Do we say because some sect of elements are vandalizing pipelines, as a result of that, the flow must be shut down and trucks must drive from Kano to Lagos, from Sokoto to Lagos? Somebody is not thinking. Seriously speaking, somebody is not thinking. Look, the number of lives, United Nations statistics for daily death on Nigerian road is 100. FRSC figure is 14. What United Nations is saying, over 33,000 people are killed on Nigerian roads annually. Our official figure is 5,000. Even if it is one person, that's enough for us to be worried. But the tank farms are all here in Lagos. The pipelines are not functioning. The rail system has died. Now they are trying to
It's being revived.
The most functional
they are trying to kind of set up a transfusion line so that they can have some blood transfusion to the rail system. I heard in the radio this week they were advertising dry ports in Kaduna. If the dry port can be in Kaduna, one can be in Ibadan. So people who are importing that are in the area of Ilorin, Oshogbo, Ondo State, and Ekiti don't need to come to Lagos.
Well, how will those things again move from Lagos to those dry ports?
They need that's why the blood transfusion into the rail system should be hastened.
Because I understand there's a rail that goes into the ports.
Yes, but
there's a rail line.
There's a rail line is not functional 100%.
So it can be revived.
It can be revived. I mean, I did a survey. We were trying to do something. That particular track can carry, I think they were telling us maybe it can only take 30 coaches or something like that. When one of those sound locomotives can pull 200 coaches, that's 200 trucks.
Okay, we're running completely out of time now, so I need to take your closing statements. Chief.
Yeah, my closing statement is a big blow that are blowing our member. Presently, I want to help us to appeal to the authorities, especially the legislators, the National Assembly. Let them tell customs to stop the auctioning of our trucks and let our trucks be released to all. We are no smugglers. We operate the Nigeria port. And these are the goods that have been cleared, that have been examined by customs.
Maybe they're tired of seeing your trucks on the roads. Sorry, Chief.
People are dying. This problem are claiming life. It's not a joke.
Okay.
Apart. Please help us appeal to the authority.
Well, I know there's a committee set up by the federal government and the state government to sort out this problem. And I don't know what happened to that committee. So my plea that the committee should be alive, or it should be revived, and let us all look at this thing, not just from the economic angle, but let us look at the environmental, the health, the well-being of the people. It's beyond those economics. It's the well-being of the people that we're trying to govern so that we can revive this.
Yeah, I will just say safety of business is like a wheelbarrow. It stands still until somebody pushes it.
Well, that's rather cryptic.
Yeah, I mean, because Nigeria is like a wheelbarrow. Seriously. It's standing still until somebody is committed to push it. Else, it's static.
Okay, thank you very much. We have been talking to Chief Remi Ogungbemi of the Association of Maritime Truckers, Mr. Patrick Adenusi, a road safety expert, as well as Mr. Ola Oresoya, Chief Executive Officer of the Waste Management Authority in Lagos. Thank you all very much for coming to share your thoughts with us this morning. Sunrise will return in just a moment with another interesting conversation. Make sure you join us.